Safety meetings. Adopt a draft. My heart desires to align things like chakras, spoons, and K-12 curriculum for one and all to adopt success, as that face of achievement, person, and life keep changing here, there, and into the great blue beyond. Living in nations at risk since dawn of time on planet Earth, Earthlings have invested much life, love, space, time, money in the parade-like approach to abandon folk rather than approach in the name of safety and security. Would you mind, love, switching approach for folk, for it appears to be having the reverse effect? Careful. Here on earth, man-made law unwittingly instigates and perpetuates cycles of loss and trauma, for it forgets that bridge of universal law where hurt beings hurt, having the collateral damage of stealing equity, dignity, justice, tolerance, as well as free will to do improvements via emotional abuse, like talking to you like a 2-year-old with the added insult of telling you to just accept that maltreatment and neglect, for it is correct by the letter of the law. Abandon approach rather than folk. Maybe start with a 2-pronged approach. Align with effective practices in health, wellness, and development, 2 of the local global heartbroken leaders. Justice systems, so many branches here, like social and religious, police, military, please, thank you, think widely, and pre-kindergarten through post-12th grade education systems. As it stands historically and currently, K-12 schools align with business government needs and wants rather than students' dreams. Outcomes of this planned alignment is the great devouring rape, raining terror on virtually every square on the sphere, leaving behind folks severely bewildered, confused, abused, crying like babies, past, present, future. Perhaps these nonviolent actions of alignment are part of a mercy jubilee, an evolution revolution within just 2 fields with which so many others align. For life, liberty, and happiness, to halt cycles of loss and trauma, to end eons old reigns of terror, to leave no child behind, even ones grown old and acting like amygdalas, to include people such as moi, Romany, during the Southeastern European Decade of Romani Inclusion, which USA has been observing since 2012. On the docket for realignment, K-12 Common Core curriculum and standards historically and currently aligned with business and government needs and wants rather than students' dreams. On the docket for realignment, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, born 10 December 1948. Oh, my heart, be still. 22 years to the day before I fell onto the sphere. What about the right to refuse to kill? I could go on, and I do, over here for a little while. This draft builds. On the docket for realignment, U.S. Pledge of Allegiance, born 1892, 1923, 1924, 1954. Something about this pledge is unaligned with the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution, or vice versa. Seems to be playing violent sacrifice, guilt trip cards in schools with youth, precious youth, under the guise of smart and pretty and correct, with the added insult of the devastating outcomes we see today. More insult to injury as each time a youth under 35 is blamed. On the docket for realignment, Declaration of Independence, born 4 July 1776, reminds us of Enlightenment and social contract theory. The righteous document says that we want to abolish the program rather than the people. Or so I thought. I want to rewrite this sweet draft with your help, for as it stands now, seems to be setting scene to adopt success for a chosen few who manage to behave a certain way rather than for one and all. The more I study and practice walking and talking this particular document, what becomes evident to me, rulers of government are just like any other humans since the dawn of quote-unquote time on this planet Earth, living in various and sundry nations at risk. Abused and neglected youth growing into abused and neglected and abusive adults who prefer to do what their parents wish and whatever the hell they want to escape the sad gone madness. What a mindfuck of massive proportions. Either way, heartbroken card falls is how I see Fallout today. Just accidental snafu, situation normal, all fucked up. As far as the east is from the west is how far transgression is removed from us. Psalm 103:12. And we have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear. We have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, thanks, infinite intelligence, for helping us all. Romans 8:15. Current mess, it turns out, is what leveling up looks like, quite predictably, and already we overcome. Let's keep going, but celebrating, singing, dancing what is, together apart, mercy jubilee and evolution revolution. Save yourself first. Universal law abide. Figure out your own song and dance. You got all the space and time in the universe. Careful, danger steer clear. Don't trip when I fall. Line by line, let's go through the relatively tiny document. Begin anywhere, take as long as we want. How about starting here for shits and giggles? Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shewn that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. Quote unquote. That was. I am a light and transient cause, and I love Prudence. She is a love of mine. I vote A, eliminate words will and should. B, amend words mankind and evil to be more dignified, just, equitable, relevant nouns. C, please make this sentence simple. Speak to me like I'm two, but don't talk to me like I'm a child. Okay, you get the picture. New draft has begun, even if just a fantasy in my and your own mind, one love. I know. WTF. Fornicating without consent of king could possibly be part of what keeps us in a violent jam. Yin yang, begin again. Okay, seriously, let's realign 21st century style. Imagine we got all the time and space in the universe, for life carries on after the earthly passage called death. Glory be, hallelujah. On the docket for realignment, U.S. Constitution, born 21st June 1788. First exec 30 April 1789. How does this document align with our updated Declaration of Independence? Where and how do our hearts desire to amend? Of course, we the people part is so inspiring, but really, what the fuck does it say? Article 1, Section 2, a big question about the age of representative. Could we align a few other pieces of our puzzle with that kind of consideration instead of pimping out youth at 18 to sex rings and killing fields? God, I haven't even begun to get to the unwritten docket for realignment. In either case, perhaps for starters, simply sign and date and document, keep regular debriefings within each sphere of a beloved community, maybe like an abstract T-chart within 4 quadrants. Scribe out as you wish what's working, what's not, what are you going to do, what am I going to do? I don't know, just playing around, for that is part of the call of the child within my heart that hears loud and clear, think infinite intelligence. Careful love, as above, so below, is a drafty draft to show peaks of a different part of my process. Part of the first draft below that may be fun for me but might seem to muddy waters for one and all. Sometimes that is how drafting my drafts go, how I inside my free will to move. That might have been meant to say inspire my free will to move. Just another galaxy hitchhiker tripping out, adopted onto planet Earth for just another positive spell within wormholes of warped time and space. I hear and see endless paths to adopt success for one and all, rather than only for a chosen few who manage to behave a certain way. So even though daily falling over self and others biting your bullets and yet to figure out conundrum of my own existence, think infinite intelligence, happy-go-lucky I am. I love you all. One love, yin-yang, begin again. As a part of this earthly study and practice, I find adopted, written, unwritten psychosocial contracts rad, worthy of reapproaching and realigning as safe, sound steps along the way. On this epic journey, life worth living as needed here, there, and into the great blue beyond. I know. What the fuck? Please. Mercy, grace, joy, thank you. Part of justice, time, and space spent translating tricky jargon steals life, liberty, happiness. Say it to me like I'm a 2-year-old, but do not speak to me like a child. Please, thank you. That's instant justice, equity, dignity, tolerance, super sweet law of love. I do the same, and when it appears I cannot love, stand back so I do not pull you down in my drown. Play on, do your thing. And for you, me, us all, pray positive for miracles beyond belief. Please, thank you. Much appreciated. Oh, yes. Apologies for my swears, hawkish words, physical blows that come out in the face of adversity and amygdala every now and again. You see, just a mere mortal, I am. Summoning adoption spirit takes longer sometimes than others, and in between I fall. Please, love, don't trip. I do not desire to break you. Posted 11 November 2018 on the Romany Ramparts, a sweeping extension of Gypsy Myth Debunked. https://ROMANREPARTION.blogspot.com.2012. What is the rest of that? Can I tell? I'm not sure, but the first part of that will get you to the blog, and then you can look for the little red schoolhouse. It's one of the thumbnails, the little red schoolhouse, and eventually you'll flip over the correct article and find what I just read to you. Ciao for now. We love you all. Whichever way you go, may you trust 7 days a week. You are loved.